Hi. All right. Today we are going to go over how to spray LuxeLacquer. My name is Leonella Cook with Sandpaper and Wax Design. I have two eyeballs. Hello, guys. Um, you are in my warehouse, and this is where I typically spray, unless I'm at a client's house. So we're going to go over the primer and all the steps of it. So just kind of bear with me because it's a lot of moving around and there's a lot of different parts. And go ahead and get some paper, take some notes. There will be a blog step outs for this, just with some tips and basic overall how to. We're going to talk about two different guns today. A really cheap one that did a pretty good job. And I think it's a great gun to learn on. It's a dummy gun and it takes the guesswork out of having to adjust volume, and it's pretty much already set. So, and then we're going to look at my gun, which is a little bit more, it's an Apollo sprayer. I invested in it because I really wanted to take my LuxeLacquer finish to the next level. And in order to do that, you need to make sure you have quality tools. So we are going to head over here to my workbench and I'm going to show you guys how to get everything ready. Make sure you are wearing a mask. You want to definitely wear a respirator. It is a, it's got, VOC. So we're going to be super careful. I am going to turn you. So don't mind the mess, guys. Welcome to my workbench. All right. So we are going to use Amy Howard's the Lux primer. It is a system. You want to use the system, and we're going to use a top coated pigment. Really important to have. You need mineral spirits. It's optional, guys, is Penetrol. And you will need filters, your gun, a choice, and stir sticks, a bunch of buckets, a clean out bucket, a flush bucket, and gloves wherever I put mine. So one sec, grab those gloves. There's going to be lots moving around, so just bear with me, and I will do my best. It's just me here. So go ahead. We're going to glove up. Okay, make sure we're gloving. And put your respirator on. I'm going to leave it off temporarily. I'm just going to really worry about it when we're spraying. As you can see, that primer is really thick. So it's really important that we stir this. You really got to get it stirred. And look, it is. I think it's thicker than one step. So you want to get to the bottom. I say stir for about 2 minutes. Be here. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. LU Kurtz. Hey, everybody. Hey, Leslie. While I'm stirring, I can say hi to you guys. So if you have questions, please be sure to ask, and I will totally try to do my best to respond. Also, there is no coupon or discount today because Easter weekend, and happy Good Friday to people, and still celebrating Passover too. So, and I know you guys probably have all the kids home. All right, I've done that enough. So you're gonna go ahead. I always filter constantly. You want to keep your paint as clean as possible. It will help your gun. It will help your paint. All right, so filtering out, I have a slip in here. I typically use a disposable cup for my gun, but I'm on back order for some of them. So go ahead, we're gonna put some in. It's super thick. It's gonna be a minute to let it clean out. Where are my rags? You want to keep your paint source as clean as possible. So don't do what I'm doing. You got to wipe down that can. Where did I put everything? There we go. Really important. Lots of rags, guys. Lots of junk rags, lots of lint-free rags. This stuff gets messy. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. All right, so it's still going. Holy moly. All right, so let's open up that Mineral Spirits. Now with primer, it's not like that top coat pigment. We're not worrying about reducing the sheen because Mineral Spirits reduces the sheen of your paint. So that's why you want to max out when you're thinning, especially the top color. Anywhere from 30% is a max. Don't go beyond 30 because you're going to really dull down your sheen. Try to keep it in 20 to 25. Things that will affect your paint are humidity and temperature. So when I'm spraying and for the first day of drying, I keep my warehouse at 70 and I try to maintain a humidity level of 40. And I do have a monitor. I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, that's enough. It's taking forever. Okay, so we have about, there's so much to get to, guys. We have about, I'd say a little over a cup. So measure out. It's just good to start measuring and writing down how much. So 30% of 1-ish cups. And so we're going to go. And it's not, again, it's not as important with that primer. And then check the consistency there. All right. I'm going to pull this out so you guys can see it. That's why I use this clear thing. So you can really see what it looks like. And it's really important that you stir and incorporate. See how the Mineral Spirits is sitting on the top. So you really, I would set a timer. I just always have a timer running so I know how long I've been doing this. And 3 minutes, really important. What I do, these sticks are really thin. I go through so many stir sticks. Whew. All right, it's looking better. So I used about 4 tablespoons here to about a cup, a little bit over 30%, but it's just the primer. And I'll show you. So the gun that we're going to use today, and I really think this is crazy. This gun was $29. And it actually did a really good job handling the viscosity of this paint. The only thing, it did a great job laying down the top coat too, but because it doesn't have as much the CMF for the pressure per cubic foot, it did dull down the sheen. And I'll show you guys. Also, what you can do at the end too, if you've lost some sheen, is car polish. And you can polish and buff it to a higher sheen. It'll get it back a little bit. But as far as like just learning and spraying the primer was just a breeze with this thing. So this is the Home Right finish for $29. This is a great gun to learn with. And worst case, you end up just down the road using it just for one step. But make sure you clean it. Don't transition up from a oil to a water without really thoroughly cleaning it. It leaves residue. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drop this in. Make sure everything's really clean. While that drains out, we're gonna go over to the piece and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna prime. I'm gonna show you guys how to prime. This gun is so easy. I laughed. I literally laughed when I tried it. So we're gonna put the piece through here. It's actually super easy to clean. I was almost dumbfounded by it. You're going to push, don't lose this. And possibly if you do get this gun, maybe order some spares because this kind of helps with the paint. So pushing that in, this is drained out. We're good to go. Trash, put your thing on. So with this gun, you only have an adjustment to how much paint is going to come out. And this is here. With my gun, you have a difference of the volume and the pressure on my actual compressor and then or HVLP system. And this is the thickness to adjust the thickness of the paint and paint pattern. You can control your overall spray. I mean, this gun I love it. It took a little while to learn on it. So I really think this is a great gun to learn, to understand what this paint is doing, to understand the problems you're having, to understand just the paint in general. So here we go. we're going to go over to the piece. I'm walking. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So here is a chest that we're going to do. Yeah, I think you totally, Lou, learn on this gun. This is a really good gun. If you have never sprayed before, this is a great gun for one step. Or if you want to learn how to spray LuxeLacquer, this is a great gun to learn how to do it, to get comfortable with the paint before you invest in something that is considered the Cadillac of sprayers. And don't do what I did. I've bought a Wagner, I bought a Fuji, I bought one of these, and then finally I said, oh, I'm going to buy this one. I could have saved myself a lot of money had I learned on this and then said, okay, I'm ready for the next level. So that's my recommendation. I don't want you guys to waste money. So see if you like doing it, if you can handle the process, because what makes you good at Lux is being able to follow the steps. So, and learning how to deal with the chemicals, how to spray it correctly. So learn here and then go ahead and go to that next level. I'm going to disconnect here. So just going over this, you're going to clean your piece down with clean slate. Clean slate's fine in the beginning. I still didn't get affirmative about if I can use clean slate in between. So for my sake, I didn't. I just use mineral spirits. So also, ladies, this paint will break your hair. So try not to get the overspray on you. Because I do a lot of Lux, and if it gets in your hair, I also wear goggles typically. Lately, I have not, and I notice I need to. So let's go ahead and get up. You're in, on. Whew. Really easy. You're going to always test your gun first before you hit your piece. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab a piece of wood here. You guys come down with me. Here we go. I got caught. And I want you to see how easy this paint is. So it's a little thin. I'm going to up the volume coming out of the gun. All right. So what you're looking for on the spray pattern, that you're having consistent coverage, that nothing is splattering all over the place. If you start to see big, like a big pattern, a big droplets, you're gonna have to thin your paint down. That is, the paint is too thick and it's not coming out, it's not gonna flow. But this, I'm amazed at how well this gun can handle this really thick primer. So we're just going to do this quick. I'm going to show you a piece I already primed, and then we're going to move into that top coat color and the process to get to those next steps. All right, guys. Oh, so when you spray, I want you guys to start from one side, moving all the way across. Don't stop at the end. Go past it. Come back all the way. And you want a 50% overlap in your spray. Oh. All right. So as you can see, nice and even, and you were not, I wasn't holding in one spot because when you start doing that, that's where you start to get ripples, you start to puddle, and then you got to clean it. But so what I recommend, 2 coats of primer. The better your foundation for your top coat high gloss, the better that paint's going to look, the more it's going to shine, and you'll be really happy with what you have. All right, so I'm going to come over here. Here is a nightstand that it's pear that I've already finished. So this is the most important process when brushing, when rolling, when spraying. It is sand, vacuum, tack cloth, wipe down. Just repeat that process over and over and over again. Get comfortable with sanding. If you make a mistake, if there's a puddle of anything in any part of the process, let it dry. Don't go back over because you're going to cause the paint to either it's going to dry too fast on the top or and then you end up with wrinkles and all kinds of problems. So for the primer, I recommend 220. Just get lots of sandpaper, get comfortable with sanding, enjoy the process. If you are very detailed and don't like to distress things, this is for you. So put your mask on, and I'm gonna just sand it. Here, I'm gonna do it on the top so you guys can wash. Here is the top. And I got something on it, so I really do have to sand it. Also, be super careful on these edges. Really be mindful not to chip or really take too much off that edge. Edges are really tough to patch and repair as you go. So be careful with the edges. So we're sanding, and you see, I've got lots. If you don't get this off, this will mar your finish. All right. So now we're gonna vacuum. I have my Henry. Got that. Turn this on. So after you sand it, we're gonna come back with our tack cloth. These guys you can get on Amazon for like super amount of money, super cheap, cheap. So tack cloth, and they're big, so just fold it over and take it off. This process, this is what's going to give you that mirror finish. I kid you not. It's all in the basics. So now that we've tack cloth, then we'll take, I'm curious. We're going to do an experiment. I have clean slate over here, so let's see what happens. Should be good. Pigmental sphere. Any questions? Oh my God, yes. Is the mask necessary? Absolutely, 100%. This is a VOC paint. This is a toxic paint. You'll end up with a headache and be high as a kite. So yes, a mask is absolutely necessary. How long should it be? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ron. I wait 24 hours. Your paint is going to do best when given ample time to dry between all coats. So just be patient. This is a patient paint. It will test you. So be sure to give it all the time it needs. Because all this work and then you're going to rush it and then you're going to ruin it. So don't rush it. Now we've wiped it down. We're going to go ahead and let that dry for a minute. We're going to go over and mix our top coat. This has 2 on it. So we're going to spray, and I got to clean out my gun because I'm going to do both. I'm going to do one with mine. I'll do one side with mine and then one side with this guy. I think it's important to see the difference. I mean, it's a gun that's going to take practice. You got to practice. If you don't practice anything, you will not be good at it. So I'm going to show you how to clean this one too, which is great. So you're going to take it off. You're going to pop this out. what I do is I always have a bucket of mineral spirits to the side where I soak whatever that needs to get cleaned quick out. Do not leave this stuff in your gun, guys. It's the surest way to ruin everything, pay a lot of money. You can end up, especially when you get to the higher quality guns, you really have to make sure you've got about 30, I'd say even 20-minute window. I'm not going to put this back in here because I've thinned it. I don't want to pollute my source. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a different container. I also want to show you guys, if you put Penetrol in your primer, I'm going to show you the difference in the color. Do you see that? There's a little bit of it yellows. So if you're going to do a white or you're going to do any light color based top coats and you're going to put Penetrol in it, I want you to be really careful because it can darken your paint a little bit. And some, you know, if you're doing stuff for designers or clients, you want to stay true as you can to the color. So that's Penetrol. If you thin, and you're not thinning with Penetrol, you're adding it to flow, adding it to help the paint lay down, which you might have to do with this gun. So just be careful on those light colors. I'm going to move this up out of the way. All right, now we're moving into our top coat color. I wish I had another pair of hands. So when you clean out this tub, and because you don't have, this has bags, I did not order them. You can use paint bags in that. So if you don't have it, it's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to take that cloth and you're going to wipe out the inside to remove most of it. All right. Kind of get as much as you can out of it. And then you're going to take your mineral spirits, swoosh it around, and you're just going to try to get the residual, whatever's left in there, out. So you're going to take another cloth, let it get a little damp from that mineral spirits, dump it in your bucket. I'll show you my bucket in a second. And we're going to just clean out the actual tub. And so now I have a nice clean, you don't want to contaminate. So we're good. For this gun, make sure you're wiping with the tip. The tip doesn't bleed. It's a no bleed tip, which is nice. And you're going to have to clean on the inside too. So just wiping, wipe as much as you can off. You're going to put back your tube that you just soaked here. Soaked it. Really trying to get as much of the paint out as possible before you put mineral spirits and clean the gun out, flush it. Stick it back in. Put more mineral spirits into it. Not a ton, just enough that it'll go through the gun. And then we're going to flush out the gun real quick. You're going to use your bucket. This is what I do. Some people do different things, but this is what I do. I'm going to grab my extension cord. Here we go. Plug your gun in, put your mask on because mineral spirits is a volatile substance too. Oh. You're going to take your rag. Oh, it's not working. All right. There's not a lot in there. Okay. So this gun, I'll show you really quick. You can take the tip off, but this is not a great gun to clean out. I would wait till the end till you're all completely finished. You can't remove the pin. So you really have to make sure you clean it immediately. This is an immediately clean gun. You must not let paint sit in this one. I can let mine sit for, like, if I went to go to the bathroom or have a coffee, but this one, no. You really have to make sure you're cleaning this gun out as you go. All right, so we're all done here. Whatever's left, should be clear. We're clear. Put that into the bucket. Put this to the side. Now we're going to start with our top coat. This is Sunflower Story. Sunflower Soiree. Butter yellow is all over the place. I thought I would do something in yellow. How pretty is that? All right, so again, really thick paint. We want to make sure it's completely mixed, especially if it's been sitting for a while. If it's been just recently shipped to you, it shouldn't be too bad. It's actually should be pretty good. Okay, so. All right. And it flows much better than that primer. That primer is really super thick. I'm going to show you how to use the viscosity cup for this one. So the manufacturer's recommendations for this gun is 45 seconds to clear out your cup. So this is your viscosity cup. You're going to pour your paint into your little bucket. Clean the top. Don't let that sit up there. I have to come back to that later. Make a mess. Okay. Cover your paint up. All right. So viscosity, we're going to look at this. You're going to dunk it into your paint source, and you're going to put a timer on to see how fast that will flush out. That's what they're doing for a viscosity test. This is it's not going to meet it. For an enamel paint, the recommendation was about, I think, 29 to 40 seconds. This will take over a minute at this point. So when I thin these paints for this gun, you want to start around 20%. Typically for my gun, I would start at 10 and see what happens. But here, with this one, I know for a fact you got to start at 20%. All right, so measuring out, where'd my tablespoon go? There you are. Okay. We got slightly over a cup again. So let's go 1, 2, 3. We're going to do about a quarter cup of 4 tablespoons. All right. Again, we're going to blend, make sure everything is completely together. Now I'm going to show you what to look for if you're having issues with the paint flow with this gun and how to tweak it. But again, it's actually, the less you can put in the paint, the better. Okay. Thank you for staying with me. I know this is like watching grass grow. All right. What cup are you? Mineral spirits. What do you do? Oh, so what I do with the mineral spirits, I actually have I call it a dump bucket. It's a big, giant bucket, 10 gallon, I don't know, 10-gallon bucket. I'm probably getting high sitting here without my mask on. I would wear your mask this whole process. And I dump it into that. And when it gets to be completely full, I take it to the recycling center. The charge for it is $50 here. So not bad. If you kind of live in the country, and I know I'd rather that you didn't do this, but you could also put it out on a board and let it dry in the sun. It'll evaporate. Mineral spirits evaporates. Okay, through your filter. The viscosity cup comes with the paint gun, just so you know, guys. Every paint gun will have its own. Okay, so we're here. We're going to test it out. I'm going to show you what it looks like at 20%. If we need to thin it, we'll adjust. But guys, it's all about observing how the paint reacts to what you're adding into it and how it's laying down. All right, mask is on. Let's move to our piece. Just all right. So, all right. Also, what I like about this gun is it lays the paint nicely down when you're upright. Here we go. Again, before we hit it, let's test it. Let's teach you good protocol. Here we go. Ready? I want you to see. It's actually pretty good right here. So let's see how it does on the primer, because this doesn't have primer on it. So here we go. Up. Here, ready? So again, starting from the edge, typically you want to start on, well, let's start top. Can you see me? All right, let's take a look at what's happening. Whew. So paint actually looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of orange peel. Typically that means it's too thick. But what's really cool about this paint is it will level. So don't stress about it. This paint is actually super forgiving. If you've used other Hilux or high gloss enamels, you know that they don't level as much, some of them. This paint is super forgiving. So sometimes you just gotta let it do its thing and come back and see what it does. Give it a minute, and we're gonna move to the side. So actually it looks really good. I think it'll go ahead and level itself out. Okay. Whew. One more time. There we go. I'm gonna start at the edge. Now I'm going to intentionally hold the gun to a spot so I can tell you how to fix it if it happens. Okay? Here we go. It's going to run. So that's what's going to happen. If you are not paying attention and you just start shooting your paint, you're going to end up with these runs. So it's really important that you're constantly moving your gun across. Thin layers are better than thick. If you spray it too thick, you're going to end up with wrinkling, puckering. The paint is going to dry faster on top, and so it's going to cause surface tension. And underneath, it is still wet. So when you come back to repair the silly mistake that we just made, you're going to have to just let it dry. Let it dry, let it do a thing. When you come back, you're going to sand. You're going to sand it out. Don't go all the way to the primer, but smooth it out so if you close your eyes, you don't feel any bumps. That's really it, guys. I'm going to throw it into mine so you can, I know some of you guys are super serious about doing this paint. So I want to make sure you see what it looks like. I'm actually, before I do that, do I have time? I'm sorry, guys. Taking up so much time. So I went ahead and did some samples for you guys that are dusty. This was done with that gun. So not bad. And black is one of the hardest colors to spray. And look how pretty. You can see your reflection. Amazing. And it laid it down really well. This is 2 coats of primer. Here's one that I did as a control. This is only 1 coat of primer with really not paying attention to what I was doing. And then it's got ridges. So spray your primer, do 2 coats of primer, and then here. And so here, this one is done with my gun. So that's the difference. You notice the sheen is a lot higher. It's because it has enough capacity to push the paint through the tip. The machine I use is an Apollo sprayer. It is expensive. It's an investment. And I've already paid it off. So I pay it. You think about when you're having to purchase better equipment, you are investing in yourself, you're investing in your business, and you sell one piece and you're halfway there. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my gun really quick, and then we're done for the day. If you guys have any questions, ask. We are done. If you want to stay here and stay with me real quick, I'm going to go ahead and use my gun So I'm still going to filter again just because it's been in a different container. I know it's been thinned to 20%. I'm going to see how it handles right here. All right. Make sure you're constantly cleaning out your tools. If you don't, you will ruin it. You will replace it. I'm sorry, but all right. So this one's really quick setup. I just wanted to wipe that down. We're going to put, so this is a HVLP turbine. I didn't want a compressor or taking it to a job site, and they're heavy. I couldn't deal with a compressor, the space. They're loud. They're super, super expensive. This thing comes with a 3-year warranty, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. It took a lot of practice. And what I love most about this, there is virtually no overspray. It's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and set my gun up. We are going to plug in real quick. Oh. All right, here we go. This is the turbine. So I'm going to turn my turbine on. I know this is an enamel paint. It has to go up. So I know I need to start higher. I'm at 9. We're going to use our spray adjuster. Testing out our paint. Start with it fully closed. And look how much control this gun has. Amazing. So this gun, awesome. I'm going to turn this over. We're going to come here. All right, we're good to go. 20% is plenty for this gun. I'm going to take you right here. I'm going to turn this down so I can talk to you. So again, with this gun, you really want to focus when you're doing this one, less is more. The less coats you do, less is like as far as thickness. You really don't want to overdo it. It's thin layers repeating over and over again with the same process. And so the thing that's going to be different with this gun is you're going to have a higher sheen. You're going to be close because you're as close as you can be. Here's that top coat from the cheap gun. Look at that, guys. I mean, that is pretty impressive. And that's a dummy gun. So learn on the cheaper gun and then, guys, take it to the next level. So you decide, but for $29, you can beat that. And you have a gorgeous finish. So if you guys have any questions, by all means, let me know. I got to get out of this room. It's super chemically. All right. I'll see you guys. I'll try to get to your questions. Have a great weekend. Mwah. Happy Easter. Bye, guys.